by 9 law enforcement officers who are sworn to serve and protect. This is now at least 3 cases that I know of within a year's time where someone with mental health issues found themselves on the other side of a barrel by the Metro Nashville Police, and this time other agencies. We have Melissa Wooden, who was shot about a year ago, who was not bothering anybody, had no firearm. She was shot, she survived. We have Jason Griffin, a homeless man who was living in the woods, and they shot and killed him. Now we have a young man who was unarmed. And I believe this started out as a welfare check. And now he's laying in some morgue. Mr. Estep and his wife were married last year on May 21st. They weren't able to celebrate their 1-year anniversary. His mother predeceased him in death. His father made the wedding, and then he passed away on Labor Day. So he's been through some things. But he's a newlywed, and they struggle financially. Sometimes they struggle emotionally, but they hung in there. He loved her, and she loves him. And he was just snatched away too soon. This is what it looks like. When you get trigger happy. This is what it looks like when you don't know how to deal with mental health issues. This is the result. This is what you get. We wanted you to see it. We wanted you to see firsthand. This is the lady that can't sleep, can't eat, and wonders why. She wonders, why did this happen? How did this welfare check turn into this man whose body has all of these holes now? How did that happen? How is it that you're on the ground and policemen who are sworn to serve and protect continue to shoot you? You're on the ground. You're not a threat. You're no longer moving. And what happened to all those toys we gave you that the council so easily approves every time you ask for something? We need more tasers. We need more stun guns. We need more sticks. We need more cards. Anything Metro Police think they want, Metro Council blindly approves it. And then you get out there and you fill that man with holes. This is what happens. This is what you leave. I'd like to read just a little part of one of the last texts he sent his wife. And I don't think she'd mind if I share this with you. I'm just going to read a little bit. And she treasures this. She holds on to it. She said, "I'm glad I kept it." He said, "Hey, baby." I'm sorry, somebody just texted me. He said, "Hey, baby, I love you. I just want to tell you good morning and hope you have a good day. And thank God we woke up. And I love you very much. And the keys are in the floorboard if you need them. And I thank God every day that I have your beautiful face to look at in my life. I will always have your back and be there when times are hard or one of us is sick They just went through COVID or something. I'll always be there for you and just love you with all my heart. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
When was that text sent?
It was sent maybe a month or so before he passed. But she just held on to it. One of her most memorable texts.
When was the last time Chelsea and Landon saw each other?
Was it the day of, baby?
That morning.
That morning?
That morning.
It was that morning. Let her. Can you speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I got you. You okay? It's 8 o'clock that morning.
Joy, it seems that there has been a lot of discussion about that half hour where there was that standoff between police and what?
Well, I don't know if you call it a standoff,
Sure.
because a standoff necessarily or it insinuates there were two sides there that had a threat. This man was no threat.
Understood.
Okay.
What do you think police should have been doing in those 30 minutes? That's a lot of time.
I think they should have been trying to get him some type of help. I don't think they should have been standing there with guns drawn, waiting to shoot. Just given any opportunity. You sneeze, you move to the left, move to the right, we're going to shoot you down and kill you. I don't think that should have happened. Nashville Metro is not equipped to handle people with mental health issues. They're not equipped. And I don't know why that's not at the top of some budget or some type of concern. I don't understand that. But there should have been some type of response team or people who are trained to deal with people with mental health issues. Metro Police, THP, and whoever that other man was that stopped, they're not trained. They're not equipped for that. So people end up dead. Or if you're Melissa Wooden, you end up with a colostomy bag. You know, they're not equipped. They're not equipped.
And we confirmed that there was no mental health counselor on scene. What's your reaction to that?
It's sad, but it's not surprising because mental health is not a priority with them. That's not a priority. It's guns, it's tasers, it's all about violence. Violence is number one with them. I'm starting to wonder if they need some mental health treatment because it makes no sense that almost wherever they go, there's some bodies laying behind them. When it comes to mental health, this is it's absurd, it's uncalled for, and it's no explanation. No explanation.
What led him to the interstate yesterday?
I think he was walking. He was just walking. He walks, is my understanding. He walks like when his mind is not clear, he'll just take a walk. Not bothering anybody. He just takes a walk, and he ended up there. And during those 30 minutes or so, I don't know what happened. I know they knew his name because they repeatedly call it. I don't know if at some point things were more cordial. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
And Chelsea, you said that the last time you saw him was 8 o'clock yesterday morning. Can you tell us about that interaction?
And then was agitated when he woke up. And he took out the door and took off walking. He left his phone at the house. So I just let him go and let him go cool down, calm down, get his bearings about him.
What?
And that's all.
For those of us who didn't know Landon, can you tell us what you loved about him?
So Landon was very loving. He always had me laughing. Landon always used to say that he used to love to watch me eat because he could always see my double chin. And he recently just got a kitten that he fell in love with. Landon was all around exceptional, and he tried to go above and beyond to do anything that he could to make anybody happy.
What can you tell us about, since you saw him yesterday morning, this happened later in the afternoon, from what you could tell us what his mental state was like yesterday?
Go ahead.
I don't want her trying to diagnose or say. She just knows that he felt he needed a walk, and that he was a little agitated. I don't know what that means. But he felt that he needed a walk.
Now, we understand Landon does have quite a bit of a criminal record. Do you think that this impacted the situation at all?
What do you mean? Him sitting on the guardrail?
No, just his past with Metro.
Well, I don't think Metro. I don't know. I don't think Metro Police knew his past. I mean, we saw it. It really doesn't matter what his past was. I mean, he was just sitting there. He's a person. Yeah, he wasn't committing any crimes, and he's dead. You know, there are dead men all over the country and women who don't have a record. So you know, I don't think that's relevant. I don't think it mattered. I think the training of these police officers, the attitude of these police officers, and the hiring of these police officers needs to be further examined. And I'll remind you again, we still have a police officer, and I'm not talking about Andrew Delkey, but we still have another police officer right now on the force that has been indicted on second-degree murder. They hired that police officer after he shot and killed a man. So, I mean, I think, are they criminals is the question. I think that's the more appropriate question. Who are they hiring? What are they doing? You know, as opposed to, we saw Landon. We know what he was doing. He was sitting there doing nothing, committing no crime.
Joy or Chelsea, I don't know who may be better to answer this question, but Metro Police keep referring to a shiny metal cylindrical object. They confirmed that it was not a gun that he pulled out. What was it?
We have no idea. We don't have any idea, and I'm surprised you don't know more about it. I mean, I'm just surprised they haven't released more information about it. But of course, they're going to present facts in light most favorable to themselves. Their reports will be in light most favorable to themselves. As usual, you know, they'll initially they'll release a mug shot, and they'll have Don Aaron come out and narrate a tape and tell you how everybody, all 15, 20, 30 people out there were in fear for their life, and you know, even when he's on the ground, it's just ridiculous. But I have no idea. I don't have any idea.
You mentioned that he did struggle with mental health. Was he suicidal yesterday?
Not that we know of. He had, I think, some bipolar issues, maybe schizophrenic, but we've never known. There's no known history of him trying to kill himself. No.
The DA that they are investigating, what action do you think they should take? The officers involved?
The district attorneys.
Yeah.
They should treat this like they would treat any other case and remove the badge and the uniform from their minds as they analyze this case. As any other case where you line up and fire repeatedly on an unarmed man, they should treat justice should really be blind.
Joy, you've represented several families in these types of cases. Last year we had 10 people shot by police. What are some of the patterns that you're seeing, and you know, what's kind of standing out to you in this really historical?
It just seems like the police jump from 0 to 100. I'm not seeing a lot of in between. You know, it's just like it's almost as if they look for a reason to shoot. I mean, based on the shootings I've seen, like the lady Melissa Wooden, I don't know why they shot her. You know, with several of them out there, she had enough distance between. It was enough distance between the two. They said she was armed with a souvenir bat and an axe, and they were in fear for their life. They tased her and then they shot her. I don't know what goes through their minds. I don't know. I don't know.
What about the number of bullets shot at Landon? What's your reaction to that?
2. I'm not really sure, but if it was really 30, that's criminal. If they shot that man 30-something times, that's criminal. That's criminal. And I hope there's a proper criminal investigation. I've always been a little leery and a little worried about police investigating police. So I hope there is a serious investigation. I hope the district attorney is serious in this investigation. And if outside agencies need to get involved, like federal government, I hope that they will. Or maybe we even request that they do. But I hope TBI does their job. But they are Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. And, they have like a brotherhood. And sometimes they're reluctant to really do a necessary, thorough investigation. And they go into these things with the mind frame of, how can I help my brother out? How can I get him out of this? That's problematic. I hope it doesn't happen here.
And you guys have been married since May. Have you guys been separated or estranged at all?
They've been married since May. They've had some problems. They're a young couple. She's 30. He was 37. They've had problems. But their love is undeniable. They were committed to each other and willing to work through those problems. They were willing to work through those problems. They were in love. They're in love. She's still in love. It's sad. It's sad. When I first met her, my heart just went out for her. She's just, I don't want to say pitiful, but it's just so sad. I find myself continuously looking in the remains of death, the family, what remains after someone is killed. And it doesn't get any easier, but she's one of the younger ones. And I guess it's just kind of extra, I can't say extra hard. It hurts, it's pain, it's hurtful. But she's 30 planning a funeral, so it's sad.
I have a question for the NAACP, if that's okay.
Sure.
So, as I said earlier, obviously we know that here in Nashville, this is not the first time someone's been shot by police, but it seems like maybe because there was video or whatever it might be that this one is getting more attention. How does it feel for you, though, that so many Black people have been shot recently in this city, and the police department has not been sending out press releases and giving the same amount of attention, and the community hasn't rallied in the same way that they're doing in this case? Do you feel disappointed that more attention hasn't been given to other cases?
I feel ignored. I feel that the community has been completely ignored. I can't say that I'm disappointed when you see it happening over and over again. So disappointment means that you're expecting a different outcome. I'm not expecting a different outcome. As Joyce stated earlier, the police department has their spokesperson, and their spokesperson always creates a narrative. That narrative is not true, but he creates one that is played out for the media and for the world to see. And then it leaves the victims fighting for what's true. And that just should not be coming from a police department that is there to protect and serve. And that's the issue. If you are here to protect and serve, that means that you go above and beyond to make sure that those people first are protected. It doesn't say serve first and then do others. It says protect first. And when you are protecting first and you see someone who is actually struggling mentally, as Mr. Estep was, you go above and beyond. We see that they stop traffic on both sides of the interstate. Now, if you stop the traffic on both sides of the interstate, wouldn't it make the most sense that you're going to get this gentleman some help? You get him some assistance first. That's not what they did. And they do this over and over again. That's the issue. That's why this is so heartbreaking. So no, I was not disappointed because I didn't expect a different outcome.
Madam President, if I could add that the NAACP just doesn't advocate for Black people. The NAACP advocates for anyone that has been treated unjustly. And in this case, he was severely treated unjustly. Anytime you shoot somebody, it was like a firing squad. It was really hurtful. And I'm not even a family member for me to watch. So I just want to make that clear that we don't stand for just Black people. We stand for anyone that has been treated unfairly and unjustly.
Chelsea, can you confirm, we found a GoFundMe called Help Get Justice for Landon Estep by Samantha McGill Barge. Do you know if that's legitimate?
That GoFundMe was taken down, and they're creating a new one where she can actually benefit. She wasn't directly benefiting from the other one, so that one was taken down. But I do want to mention there will be a GoFundMe up, and they can probably just put his name in there, GoFundMe, and put Landon E-Step in there. Look, I don't think I've ever done this before, but this girl needs something. She needs some help, some financial help. He was the breadwinner. He was a construction worker. Some of his friends stated he could build a house from the ground up by himself. That's what they say about him. He was bad on that construction, but good, bad, good. But he was the breadwinner, and she was explaining how he had just caught up. They were behind in their rent, and he just caught them up. So now she's pretty much starting over again. Plus, she's got to deal with burial. She's got to get her own mind together. This will do something to you, going through death. She just went through COVID, but she is in need of financial support. And that site should be up tonight. So, if you feel it within your heart to help her, then help her, please. Help her.
Chelsea, as this investigation goes on, we're going to hear more and more from the police. What do you want people to remember about Landon as we hear this news come out?
I want people to know that Landon didn't deserve this. Landon wasn't a bad guy, and he was crying out for help, and his cries went completely unanswered.
And I think we're just going to leave on that. It's getting a little cold. Now, she did just get over COVID, and I don't want to just, keep her out here in this cold and snow. But thank you all for being here, for listening. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Thank you.
So
Stay
I have
warm.
something to say. As being Queen Mother on the People's Plaza after the George Floyd murders, we met with the mayor's office. We reached out to the governor that we needed police reform. And here we find it. After staying out there 62 days, we are back again. This is like a revolving door of the police department just senselessly killing people. We will not stop at this. We will be heard, and we need changes in the police department. We had so many kids arrested over there and bleeding for change in the police department, and it never happened. And we will make sure this time that the voices of our community is heard around senseless violence of people in the city of Nashville.
And I'm sorry, this is my last question. I just wanted to give you a chance to respond to this because it is something that's being reported on. I know that he's been charged with domestic assault. I know that there's been orders of protection.
We don't.
Those are old.
No, I just didn't want her to really get into that because she's going through a lot. And just for today. But thank you though
Joy,
for your question.
What should people know about that though? We want to give the full context. We want to make